Good day, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Have a totally different video for you today. So, let me explain a little bit. I don't know how or when it happened, because it's a blur, but somehow I got old. And as I started to get older, I started to develop some of the things that older people get. And one of those is arthritis in my hands. So for a while now, I have been using some hammers, I call them enforcers, to help me out when the clutch on a brick is just so tight. Generally speaking, Lego clutch is just about perfect. I am still able, with minimal pain, to get together, a 1x1 stud or 1x1 plate, and I can do those pretty good. But some of these alt bricks, frankly, the brick quality is not great. And it's normally not that the clutch is too loose, but it's the clutch is really, really tight. And after a couple of hours or maybe the same repetitive type process of putting together smaller bricks, man, my hands can really start to hurt. So my hammers really do come in handy. So today, let's walk through the 4 different hammers that I use for different situations to see if this might help you out if you are experiencing the same kind of hand pain that I am. To begin, let's talk hammer material. Do not go out into Grandpa's shed and grab his 1962 Craftsman that is full of dirt and oil and probably burrs, because Grandpa was just really put the onions in on that thing when he was trying to get a job done. If it is full of dirt and oil, you will definitely transfer that to the bricks. You don't want to do that. And those burrs on that steel hammer could really damage the ABS bricks that we're dealing with. So for the most part, I do have one metal hammer, but this is brass. This is a jeweler's hammer that I tend to use for smaller 1x1s for either round or square bricks. This comes in handy. It's got some nice leverage so that you can tap those down really good. Next up, I have a medium-sized one. This is a general, kind of all-around really good hammer. The only thing I don't really like about it is that if you look really closely at the face of it, it's got a slight curve. Not a huge deal. But this is a great all-around hammer. It's got the red part, sometimes it's yellow, is a little bit harder than the black part, but this is a great one for larger and smaller bricks. Next up, I have my wooden mallet with a nice flat face, a little bit bigger. I think it's about 45 millimeter in diameter, and this is great when you're trying to do larger plates or larger bricks. One of my favorites. Nice and lightweight. My most recent acquisition is my large size here. This is a dead blow hammer, and I really could have used this when I was doing this. The Baca Magic Castle, when you were putting together basically a mill's plate, you had a bunch of Technic bricks underneath, and you had to add a large plate on top. It did not want to go down. I couldn't get it with my medium-sized hammer. So this one could have come in handy, and I will show you an example of this in a minute of how I would use this larger one. The key to using any of these hammers effectively is that you really have to at least kind of start the bricks getting together. Simply placing a brick on top of another one without it having some connection, it'll probably just fly all over the place, and I'll show you that here in a second. So let's look at how I use each one of these. All right, let's start off with some 1x1s here. Like I said, you kind of want to try to get it started first. So I've got this started, and then I can come in with my jeweler's hammer and finish it off and put it together. When you do this once, it may not seem like a big deal, but again, if you're repeating this hundreds of times, it can really get to the hands. So let me put another one on top here, see if I can kind of get it started. Finish it off. Let's see what happens if I just try to put it on top. I wonder if I can get it. Nope. That's what happens when you just kind of place it on top. That's why you really need to try to catch an edge and then finish it off. So might not always be perfect, might not always work, but it's worth a shot to try to save your hands. So now let's look at putting a couple of regular sized bricks together, and you will find actually that the bigger the bricks get, the easier it is to put them together, because there's more of an edge that you can catch. So I can start that off like that, catch an edge, and then it's real easy, boom, come in, and you got them together. So the bigger, definitely the easier. Just put it together. That's a little off center. Got to make sure it's kind of centered, get it started, boom. Real easy to get done. So that is a real helpful thing. As I mentioned before, the more surface area you have to connect, the more difficult it is. So let me put a couple of, what are these, 1x10s together here. And just going to try to, again, get an edge going. Going to bring in the wooden mallet on this one. Boom. Done. Going to put it over there. Boom. Done. Easy. Let's do another one off the side here. Again, catch an edge. There you go. Boom. Done. And a lighter weight hammer, especially like this one. This is my made in Japan. I think it's called CurKym or something like that. It's so lightweight. And with a good enough lever that you can have it use that mechanical advantage to get it down there. Comes in real handy. Take this apart here. But sometimes you need a little bit more than that. All right, and here is the example when the larger size dead blow can really come in handy. So let's say you're putting together a mill's plate and you have a lot of surface area that you're going to be covering with your plates. So I've just kind of simply put down some bricks here. They're all just very loosely on here. Going to go around, make sure they're all seated. That's good, that's good. And now let's put on our, what is this? This is an 8x16, I believe. So let's go ahead and put it on. I am just going to, again, get an edge started and then go around. Boom. Done. Looking good. A little bit more of a space there. Give it a little extra whack and you're good to go. Let's go and put this other one in. Just get it started on the corner. Go around and make sure it's nice and secure. What a saver. So at the end of the day, if you had to go with just one, I would probably recommend this one that's got the two different sided heads. This is going to be your best bet for all around. If you need something a little bit bigger, between the dead blow and the wooden mallet, I would probably go with this simply because it's lighter. This is a 1-pounder right here, and it has got some heft to it. Even when I was using it, I was feeling it more in my wrist. So if I had to go with just one of a bigger size, it would be the mallet for sure. So what do you think? What are your thoughts? Leave a comment below. Oh, by the way, all the links for these will be in the pinned comment below. And give us your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. Hit that like button. We got a lot more cool stuff coming up, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again. Bye.